Since March to August, Senator Hassan has voted to approve $5.2 trillion worth of spending. That automatically wiped out $2 trillion of retirement savings for Americans. They can't afford that. Inflation, inflation, inflation is what I hear.
That's what everyone hears. We can never forget that it was Democrats that did this to this country, no matter how they try to spin it. Republicans did not want to shut the country down over that virus. They refused. They did not want to do it. They fought it as hard as they could. And if we hadn't shut down, we wouldn't have needed the stimulus. Without stimulus and printed money, inflation is a fraction of what it is today, probably a small fraction of it. The amount of money we've just wasted on COVID can barely be extrapolated. $1 trillion is such an ungodly amount of money it would make your head spin. They did this to this country, and their only defense is to call it a global problem. You want to know why it's a global problem? Because sadly, the world is run by incompetent liberals just like the ones we have here. And they screwed up all the other countries just like we did ours. Rick Grenell joins us now. It's good to have you on, sir. Watching Pelosi and Stacey Abrams this week try to force Americans to care about abortion more than their wallet has really been something to see. What are your thoughts?
Look, I've been privy to a lot of polling data from a lot of our governors and Senate races over the last several months. And I don't always believe polling, but I can tell you what it says unequivocally in almost every single poll is that Americans care about gas prices and inflation. There are pockets, Rob, of Americans that actually are not really that concerned about the rising crime because it hasn't affected them.
Yeah.
There are some pockets of Americans who are not impacted by the border. And yet, when you look at the issue of abortion or you look at January 6th, which are two of the favorite issues for the left, they rank at the lowest. Americans are absolutely not concerned. So I actually hope that there are people watching this show that are Democrats, and we can say to them, keep going on your path because you are running ads, you are spending a whole bunch of money, and the American people are not listening to you at all. Yeah. I can tell you out west, in Arizona and Nevada in particular, these issues are not what the people want to talk about.
Yeah,
and that's reflective in the polls right now.
Yeah.
You see Blake rising, you see Adam Laxalt solid, he's going to win.
He's going to win. Wow. And I was just going to ask that. You've been in Arizona, Utah, Wisconsin over the last few days. You've been very busy. You're all over the place battling for Republicans in a number of races. You say Laxalt is going to win in Nevada. How does everything else look? What's your prediction for 3 weeks?
So I predict Adam's going to win. I think Blake pulls it out. I don't buy any of this national media that somehow we're suddenly swinging back. Republicans are swinging back. I think they've been in the lead the whole time. I think this red wave is coming. Joe Biden is our best talking point. Take it into Ohio. I think J.D. Vance wins. I'm here in Wisconsin right now to help my friend Ron Johnson. I'll be at Serb Hall on Friday night with Ron Johnson. And I think that he's going to win. He's running against a radical, I don't know if you saw the news today, but Mandela Barnes, who he's running against, literally was now caught liking some of the Iranian regime leaders' tweets. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. The Democratic Party has literally nominated some really wacky left-wing people. Fetterman in Pennsylvania, Mandela Barnes in Wisconsin. You've got some really crazies.
I mean, you're liking the Iran. I mean, who likes anything about the Iran? I don't care what your politics are in this country. That is just that's completely off the grid. I don't understand what you could possibly. I don't even get how that happens.
There was a tweet from Khomeini who said something about Black Lives Matter. And
of course.
He immediately jumped Mandela Barnes on this, but he did it several times. It's really kind of creepy, to be honest. Here, the Iranian regime is, systematically taking away human rights of women and gays, pushing gay people off buildings, murdering women who don't have their headscarf on. I mean, it's really radical stuff. And to have a Senate candidate in Wisconsin, in the Midwest, for God's sake, This
Well,
is
it also-
scary stuff.
it also
I
shows
think
you-
they need to be defeated. I think Ron Johnson will defeat him.
It also shows you just how stupid he is, because we all know why China gave money to BLM. We all know why nations like Iran support BLM, because BLM is undermining our nation. They know how damaging that narrative is to this country. They like to feed that fire. Mandela Barnes is too stupid to realize that the only reason Iran is making these comments and China says they support BLM and sends money to BLM is because they're actually trying to destroy this country from within. He doesn't get that. That's what's amazing.
Yeah. It's one of those things that I think, too, the women of Wisconsin are going to have to rise up and see, if this is their Democratic Senate candidate is going to spend time complimenting the Iranian regime at the same time that the Iranian regime is systematically taking away women's rights. I think you've got a real recipe for disaster. Stay away from him.
I agree. Rick.